Mr. Shahani, we await your speech, please.
So the graduating class of 2016, congratulations. I think there are a whole bunch of achievers here, and I'm really happy to meet each one of you. When Sharoni was saying all these, your principal head was saying all these good words, I was hoping my wife would be in the audience. That never happens, you know. She's 7 seas away at the moment. But, you know, this graduation class really brings back to me memories of 50 years ago when I was in your position. So you can calculate my age now. But those are very benign years, you know. You have a world of opportunity. When we were graduating, there were only 4 professions, you know. You became an engineer or a doctor or a chartered accountant or a scientist, you know. But in this day and age of digital era, you have so many, many opportunities. And from what I was hearing from your principal and the head of school, the kind of locations you're getting to, the kind of subjects that you're going to take ahead are really, truly the future. So thank you for inviting me to today for the most special day of your life, the graduation day. It is also a special day for your parents, for your teachers, your principal, and the head of the school. And I'd like to use a metaphor. This school of yours is really like a castle. When I was walking in, this is my first visit, it's a beautiful school. And there's been a moat around it. And to take the metaphor a bit further, today the drawbridge is lowered. And you, the students, are to leave your educational activity of school and about to cross over the large river to discover new lands. You're entering a wonderful land full of pastures, fields of crops and fruit trees, and in some places, one may, with some luck, find minerals and gold too. This is a momentous day in your lives as you graduate high school. You are at the threshold of your future, which begins now. And if you ask me, is this journey going to be easy? I would have to tell you, for most and many of you, there'll be many crossroads, some with dead ends. You may even be tricked finding that the distant marshlands, which you looked like fields of richest crops, are barren after all. Or your path may suddenly end at a precipice, invisible until you reach it and are forced to turn back. I'm not saying this in a despondent way, but I just wanted to share with you some realities as you go forward, because this is a transition you're making, and it'll all depend on how you manage these twists and turns. In your quest, you may be faced with disappointments, but don't have a doubt about whether you should have ever passed this bridge into the unknown. You have a great future ahead of you. You began your schooling life as small children, but today, as young achievers, you go to make a mark in your life. All of you, I'm sure, will pursue university courses of your individual interest. Each one of you will travel your own path. What I would like you to remember is that no matter where you go or what you eventually choose to do, life will throw both opportunities and challenges your way. Remember, each one of you is unique. Our late President Kalam rightfully said that each one of you is a page in history. What I do not want to happen is that you just be a sentence or punctuation, or worse still, a blank space in this page in history. You have a huge opportunity ahead of you. The education that you've got in this beautiful school will make sure that all the challenges that come in front of you, you will overcome. You must, however, think of that one action of yours which will make you great, all there, for which you'll be remembered and then you make history. You won't be the page in history. This one idea should drive you for the rest of your life. To do this, of course, you first have to set a goal, but do set it high, set it very high. Second is acquire knowledge continuously. You know, even today, basically, you continue to acquire knowledge from cradle to grave. I was watching the other day a program, Britain's Got Talent. The 93-year-old lady who was partnering a young guy, and she was competing for salsa. When did she start learning salsa? At the age of 89. So learning never stops. Whatever field you're in, it's continuous. Third, of course, hard work and devotion. And remember, hard work is not optional. There's no question. Fourth is finally perseverance. This distinguishes the strong from the weak. And I want to give the example of one of the students from my wife's college, HR. Every day in the morning at 7 a.m., he was there early morning. In fact, the teachers had to rush to be on time because this student was going to be there. He stood first in that class of graduation. And when he finished graduation, it was expected that he will do chartered accountancy. But he came and met my wife, Hindu, and said, what should I do? Because this is not where I want to be. She just told him, follow your dreams. And he did that. And today he's one of the finest producers in the film industry. His name is Karan Johar. His notes were left behind. His management notes were left behind. And there's still a gem of a piece in the college, which people see. So this is very different from what he learned, but what he finally did. And that's what I mean, dream. Don't live a limited life. As you go about business of life, do so with passion. At every corner of life, there's actually a universe hidden. You just have to open your eyes, your mind, and you will notice most of us go through life a bit superficially. Please observe, please learn from what's around you. You know, all of us Google. Google is a great thing. It's the best thing that's happened. And you get all the answers in Google, right? You can Google for a mate, you can Google for a career, you can Google to find what's in your heart. Can you do that? No. That passion which lifts you skywards, what motivates you, you have to find yourself. You can't Google it. Remember that. Go where your heart leads you. I'm sure it'll guide you to the right path. Don't do it for money. You have been molded by your school to be compassionate and lifelong learners. That's what the head of school, Sharoni, told me a week ago. Money is a byproduct. It will come, but that should not be the focus. You must develop your competency, your communication, your collaboration, and above all, compassion. And this again reminds me of two other students from the same college. One was a young Kashmiri boy. He was obviously uprooted from Kashmir with all the troubles there. He came to Mumbai. He finished from HR, and he did his MBA. He got a great job in Goldman Sachs. And one fine day, he came back to the principal and said, this doesn't tug my heart. He was traveling by train, and he helped a deaf person across the station. What he decided to do was to build a courier company, and he called it Miracle Couriers. Miracle spelled as M-I-R-A-K-L-E, Miracle Couriers. His name is Dhruv Lakra, and you're only qualified to be appointed in that company if you're deaf. So the first company to give him space, free space, was the Tata Group. That company is good, it's profitable, because a deaf, what does the courier boy have to do? Just go there, ring the doorbell, deliver the parcel, take a signature, and get away. So you don't have to speak much. They are profitable because the railways give them pass at concessional rates. They've got some other tax concessions. So straight from this high world of Goldman Sachs, he's doing this. It is all compassion. Another student, Popularly, he's called JC, Jyotirmay Chatterjee. He went to this village which is just 60 kilometers outside Maharashtra. There's no electricity there. So he came back as a Rotaract. He said, what should I do? How can I help? I can't wait for the power minister to put light in all these villages. So he requested every student that packet of chips that you have every day, 10 rupees, gift it away through the year. So 3,650 rupees you donate. And they created and designed a solar lantern. And in the last 3 years, they've lit 4,000 villages. Now, what does this do? It helps the housewife to cook in the evening. It helps the children to study. He could have easily got a job in a big corporate company, but he did that. So, this is compassion. All our time in earth is limited. Your time is limited. So don't waste it living somebody else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of other people's opinion drown out the noise of your inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. Everything else is secondary. And this is something, is not my quote, this is something which Steve Jobs had said. And since Tim Cook is here in India, it's all about iPhone and Apple. There was John Scully. He used to work with Pepsi, which is one of the largest company. And Steve Jobs at that time was a middling youngster, and he wanted to have a good corporate person join his firm, which didn't have any name. And Scully wouldn't join the company. And that one sentence with Steve Jobs, while taking a walk on the beach, he told Scully, he said, do you want to keep selling sugared water all your life, or do you want an opportunity to change the world? And that's when Scully joined Steve Jobs, and the rest is history. So it's that one thought which can make the huge difference. So while you may not have the power to influence the world just now, you certainly have the power to do that for yourself. And once you become powerful, use that power to empower the others. Life is the greatest teacher. Success grows out of failure. So always and always be courageous. I'm sure most of you also know J.K. Rowling, right? She was a single parent. She didn't have heating in her house. So she'd go to a tea room and sit there in the corner and scribble some stories and see where she's come from then and where. All of us here, sitting here in the audience, and all of you sitting here, are here because of only two reasons. One is accident of birth, and the second is education. So education is a God-given right, and you have some very strong fundamental building blocks of education. Please make good use of that for yourself, for the community. So the other thing which I want to say is, do walk that extra mile. It's a lonely place, but do that. Because mostly no one does that. Most people who do that think, wait, no one else is here, why am I doing this? And they leave never to return. That is why the extra mile is a very lonely space. That is also why the extra mile is a place filled with opportunity. So don't follow the herd. Be early, stay late, make that extra phone call, send the extra mail, do the extra research, help a customer unload or unpack a shipment. Don't wait to be asked, offer. And that reminds me of Sam Walton. You know, he was somebody who made the largest store. And he was walking through his store, and one of the workers was cribbing away that every day he has to pick up all this refuge and the scrap which is left over, very heavy, he can't do that. And Sam Walton was walking through the place. He saw a forklift there. He helped the worker pick up the stuff on the forklift, and he himself rode the forklift, and off went the refuge with very little effort. And that became a standing operating instruction. And he was the chairman of the company. So don't wait to be asked, do offer. Every time you do something, think of that one extra thing that you could do, especially if the other people aren't doing that extra thing. So, in terms of education, this also reminds me, the British created the BCom and the BA and the BScs, basically to create an army of clerks for the bureaucracy, But you have really some great choices. We heard about some of the places where you're going. Some of you are actually joining ISME. We have 20 million babies born in India every year. Only 2 million get jobs. So the rest 18 million have to be entrepreneurs or create jobs. This new school is a great school, and a couple of you are joining. You'll find it very interesting. We have Sonali here, who is program director in the audience. Parents can talk to her or see about it later. But creativity and entrepreneurship are very important. And this new age education, what I call is DICE, D-I-C-E, design, innovation, creativity, and entrepreneurship. We want managers who have entrepreneurial mindset and entrepreneurs who are managerial leaders. And this is how, as a country, we're going to develop. So I do want to wish you, each one of you, much success and happiness in all your future endeavors. Go out, embrace the world. Your future is yours to carve. Good luck and bon voyage on this journey across the drawbridge. All the very best.